What's up, guys? It's Sydney with Yoga Extraordinaire Sydney Duarte, and we're here with your full body yoga flow with heart and hip openers. So grab your mat and let's get started. What's up, guys? Welcome to your first official 30-minute yoga flow, and we have our first official guest outside of Dustin on the channel. This is also Sydney Duarte.
Sydney Squared.
Yeah, Sydney Squared. It's our first Sydney Squared project. I'm going to link all her details in the description below. She is on Instagram as the Traveling Gypsy, and she is someone who I think represents the energy and the intention and just the attitude that I have here on the channel, and so I wanted to bring that to you through her and her practice and have her flow us through something that I think most of you guys ask for a lot: hips, lower back, middle of your body opener. I'm gonna let her tell you guys a little bit about her journey into yoga, demonstrate some of the props that she has here for you. If you're a beginner or if you're advanced, you're gonna benefit from this flow. And take it away, Sid.
Yay! I'm so excited to be with you guys today. Yoga for me, I used to do gymnastics when I was younger, and I injured my back really badly, and I was supposed to go to a chiropractor once a week or twice a week until the end of time is what they told me. And then when I started going to yoga, all my pain went away, and I was like, what is happening? This is amazing. So I wanted to start teaching and give that healing back to people. And so I just love it, and I am excited to guide you guys through for props and things. So I find that a lot of my students are a little intimidated by props, but they are your friends. So a block maybe you can't quite reach your toes, no worries, because now the floor has been brought up to you, and it has all the heights, middle, lower. So depending on how long your arms are, how tall you are, how tight you are, it's all good things. And I'll walk you through that throughout the practice, but
and if you guys need any of these tools, I didn't mean to interrupt you, I'm going to link all these tools in the description below. So if you're interested after seeing her demonstrate how to use a yoga block or a strap, definitely grab the links in the description below so they can help you just feel better in terms of how you're flowing and moving and stretching.
Yeah, yay. And also note on the strap, no worries if you don't have one at home, you can always use a towel or a shirt.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Improvising.
Yeah.
Yay. I think that's really all that you need to know.
Okay, and so tell us about our flow today. What are we going to work on?
Today is all body, but focusing on hips and heart opener. Yeah. So I will always offer modifications. You can always take a break whenever you need. And everybody's body is a little bit different. So do not worry if you are perfect in each pose, because there's no such thing. Everybody's body is different, so just see what feels best for you. And if you feel wobbly in any pose, no worries. You're just building strength for the next time. Yes. So just have fun with it. It's good. It's yay.
Is she not the exact energy that I have? Have fun with it. Don't have to be perfect. We're just moving. We're trying to get better today in some way. So whatever this gives you, maybe it's just peace of mind. Maybe it's just calmness in your life. Maybe it's breathing. Maybe it's mobility. Maybe it's all the above. But whatever you need to take from this is all that it's intended for. So I'll go ahead and let you get us started. She's going to correct me if I'm doing anything wrong. I'm right here with you guys. She's a teacher who teaches all the time. I'm just like you, not a professional yoga instructor or teacher. So if she needs to correct me, I'm going to let her show you guys what she's doing to me, and we're just going to move.
And assists don't mean that you're doing anything wrong. It's just to help you feel it a little differently, but I will walk you through every step of the way. So
here we go.
So we're going to begin on our backs.
Okay.
And for all of our friends out there that have any low back issues, you can bring the feet wide so they're planted into the ground, and your knees will come into touch. And this releases the psoas muscle and the low back. Your hands can rest down on the ground with your palms facing up to the sky. And you can close your eyes, and we're just going to take 3 deep cleansing breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. For anyone that is ready for a hip opener, you can go ahead and bring the soles of the feet together with your knees splayed out to the side, and you can reach for an inner thigh assist. So on an inhale, you'll pull up towards your belly button, and on your exhale, you'll just let your shoulders and your head relax into your mat. And we'll be here for 3 breaths as well. Deep inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. And whenever you're ready to begin, whichever variation you chose, on 3, 2, 1, you'll begin. And for those of you that are new to like deep cleansing breaths, deep breaths are like little love notes to your body. So the deeper they are, the more love you're giving to yourself. So don't be afraid to like make noises or just like really get into it, because yay for self-love.
Amen.
Take one more deep inhale, and when you're ready, you'll begin to bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. You can rock from side to side if you need that little low back love. And when you're ready, you'll take your arms out into a T, and you can drop your knees over to the right. Your gaze will go to the left. If you need a deeper twist, you can wrap that top leg around the bottom leg. And if that's too deep of a twist for you, but you still want that twist, you can always take your block and place it underneath of your knees. If you don't have a block, you can always use like a pillow, something small. Take one more deep inhale, and when you're ready, you can come back to center. And then you'll drop it over to the opposite side. Your gaze will go to the right this time. And if you need that deeper twist, you can wrap the top leg around the bottom leg and just settle in for 3 cleansing breaths. And you may find that you're more open on one side than the other, and that is totally normal. Don't worry about that. That's why we do this practice, so we can balance out both sides. Take one more deep inhale, and when you're ready, you can come back to center. You'll take your toes up to the sky. Tell your hamstrings hello. You can give yourself some ankle rolls going inward or outward. You can press your toes to the sky or back towards your body. And you're gonna engage your hands like they're little suction cups right beside your hips. On an inhale, you'll take your feet a little bit higher to the sky, and on your exhale, you engage the low abdominals and you'll take your heels towards the ground. We're not gonna come all the way to the ground, and on an inhale, you'll bring it back up. So we'll just flow with that for 3 more rounds. Maybe each exhale, you go a little bit closer to the ground, and inhale, you'll bring it back up. And you can always go as slow as you'd like. And on your last round, you'll let your feet come all the way down to the ground, and you'll begin to rise up onto your forearms. So you can take one shoulder to one ear and then the other, and then your suction cup hands are engaged one more time. So on an inhale, you'll pull yourself towards the back of your mat, and once you feel this little release in the low back, maybe you drop the head back. So this is a nice heart opener, shoulder opener, throat opener. If it freaks you out to have your head drop back, no worries, you can just bring it back to center.
That's good.
But if you have a hard time using your voice and speaking your mind, this is a great one. Help you open up the throat. Just take one more cleansing breath. And when you're ready, you can slowly make your way up to seated. So your choice, if you'd like a heart opener, you can roll the shoulders up towards the ears, down the back, and just kind of hang out here. Maybe you drop the head back a little bit. If you want to go deeper, your fingertips are in the ground and facing your low back. You're going to press into your heels, and on an inhale, you'll press your hips up to the sky. And if you'd like to drop the head back one more time, we'll be here for 3 breaths, but you can always come down anytime you'd like. This is just a tiny little challenge for yourself. Take one more deep inhale, and on your exhale, you can lower back down. Yay.
Breathing is sometimes so beneficial.
Breathing will help you sustain any pose throughout the... You've got a good breath.
So
I like
true.
it.
Yeah, I think we all need it sometimes, right? Just a breath.
Yes. I'm here to help you every step of the way. So when you're ready, you'll plant your feet again about hips distance apart. You can hook right behind the knees. On an inhale, roll the shoulders up towards the ears, down the back. And again, you can hang here for a little heart opener if you'd like. If you need a little bit more relaxation right in the beginning of class, you can just fold over your legs, maybe reaching for opposite forearms, let the head hang heavy, releasing any tension in the upper back neck area. So we'll be here for 5 breaths. If you want some more core engagement, come back to seated, and you'll begin to shift your weight back until your feet come off the ground. Maybe you drop one foot and the other. Maybe you row your boat. If you're really ready for all the things, you can bring it down to canoe, where you come down and bring it back up. Whichever variation floats your boat, just have fun with it.
Ooh, let's see what you did there.
Yeah! I'm cheesy, in case you didn't know this yet.
Same.
One more deep cleansing breath. And when you're ready, we'll begin to plant our feet down into the ground. And you can come into a comfortable seat. And we'll just begin resting our knees onto our hands, our hands onto our knees. So again, roll the shoulders up towards the ears, down the back, and this time you're lifting the chin and chest to the sky. And on your exhale, you're just gonna reverse the shoulders as you tuck the chin to the chest. And you'll flow with that for 4 more rounds. But if you have any tension in the upper back neck area, use your knees to really arch into that upper back space. Especially if you have to sit at a desk all day or drive all day, like this is a really good way to lubricate the spine and just kind of get back into the shoulder neck space. And when you're done with your last round, you can come back to center, bring your hands to heart center, tuck your chin to your chest for a cleansing breath. Just take a second to honor yourself for making time to get back into your mind and your body today. One more deep inhale. And when you're ready, you'll begin to interlace the fingers. So this is kind of a long inhale. You're gonna take a deep inhale as you press the palms away and take them overhead. And then on your exhale, you just let that float on back down. So you can go as slow as you like. This is just kind of getting into the shoulders a bit. We'll play with this for 3 more rounds. And maybe each inhale is a second longer. Each exhale is a second longer. Just getting a little shoulder love. And when you're done with your last round, you can begin to walk your fingertips forward. So if your hips try and come off the mat, maybe back it up just a little bit.
Flip this way.
Okay, yeah. So you can be high on the fingertips if you'd like, and just let the head drop down heavy. So we'll be here for 5 breaths. If you want just to flow with your easy breath or a cleansing breath, take that. If you've had a stressful day or a stressful week, anything that's heavy, weighing you down, there is lion's breath, which is the same as a cleansing breath, but you stick your tongue out and you have the option to crisscross your eyes. Nobody's looking at you, so give it a try. And it's anytime you're feeling stressed, this is always a good breath work to play with. If you're at work, maybe find a space you can be alone, but do your thing. Yeah, and the more you breathe into these spaces, if you ever want to imagine your breath as like a colorful ball of light, and you'll hear people say that sometimes, like breathe into your hip or breathe into your wherever, your shoulder, and you're like, what the heck does that mean? But yeah, just imagine that breath like flowing down into that space and like releasing that tension. It's really fun.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
So whenever you're ready, take one more deep inhale, and we'll just begin to rock ourselves forward into a tabletop position. So your hips are directly over the knees, your wrists are directly underneath the shoulders. Spread your fingertips wide like you have even little pieces of pie. And on an inhale, first we're just gonna focus on the space right in between the shoulder blades. You're pressing the floor away. So just like we were doing, we're holding our knees, arching the back, tucking the chin to the chest. And on your inhale, release that space in between the shoulder blades as you drop the belly, lift the gaze. And we'll just flow with this for 4 more rounds. Exhale, rounding and tucking. Inhale, dropping and lifting. And you can go as slow as you'd like. And if you ever find that you need like any other movements, feel free to take them. Anything you want to do. There's another fun one. You pretend like your torso is tracing the inside of a barrel. So you can like really kick your ribs out and then drop the belly down, and it's kind of fun. Anyway, lots of options.
Yeah. That's the good thing about your practice is that, you know, everyone needs something different.
Yeah.
Everyone feels good doing something different. Whatever you need, whatever feels like, okay, this is what I needed today.
And it may be new to you to like explore your body in that way and be like, what do I need? I don't know. But just start wiggling around and you'll be like, oh, hey, that feels good.
Yeah.
Hey.
I like that. Yeah, exactly.
And when you're ready, come back to center. You'll begin to shift your weight over the wrists, kick the hips out to the right side, and you'll make big circles. So bring it back to the back of the mat and swing it back around front. 2 big circles on the right side, and when you're ready, 2 big circles on the left. Nice. And when you're ready, you'll just come back to center. Bring the left hand directly below the face. On an inhale, take the right hand up to the sky. And on your exhale, you'll thread it through. You're gonna rest onto that right shoulder. This left hand could rest by your face, or it could walk overhead, or it can come to your low back. Just see what you're feeling, what you need. If you would like to go even deeper, you can walk the left toes to the right fingertips. And just go slow and steady. You probably feel like a pretzel right now, in a good way, but
I don't hate it.
And just take 2 deep cleansing breaths. One more deep inhale. You'll slowly begin to unwind. You can plant that left hand down as you take the right hand back to the sky one more time. Bring it back down, and we'll just swap sides. Right hand down, inhale, left hand to the sky, and on your exhale, you'll thread it through, resting on that left shoulder. And again, if you want that right hand overhead, you can take it if you need it at your low back, or if you want to walk the right toes over to the left fingertips. Just go slow and steady. Once you feel settled, take 2 cleansing breaths. And anytime you guys want to stay in any of these poses, you can stay here as long as you want to. It'll just help you open up a little bit deeper. One more deep inhale, and slow and steady, you can begin to unwind. Plant the right hand down, inhale that left hand back up to the sky, and you'll make your way back to center.
Feeling good.
When you're ready, begin to extend that right leg back behind you, engage the glute and the core, and on an inhale, you're gonna lift up. Actually, come back down for a second. Okay. So I just wanna emphasize the importance of your wrist being under your shoulder, because when bone is stacked on bone, you can't really wobble anywhere. You have that support system, and you're always pressing the floor away from you. So if it's up here a bit, if we were to extend out, you'd be like, oh yeah, what's happening?
Yeah.
So this is your support system. Straight stacked. Sorry.
No, that helps. That helps a lot.
And then you'll just extend that leg back one more time. On an inhale, lift up. If you guys want to stay right here, you can. If you want to go a little deeper, maybe the left thumb comes up to the sky. So if you want to stay here, you can. If you want to go deeper, inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, you'll bring that elbow to the knee, pressing the floor away from you. And inhale, extend it back out. And we'll just play with that for 2 more rounds. And again, if you need more strength building, you can always play with this for as many rounds as you'd like. And on your last round, you'll stay extended, and you'll bring that left hand back down to the ground. You'll take a bend in the back knee. So imagine there's an invisible tray on the top of your foot. You're trying to keep it balanced, and you're just gonna pulse up and down. So if you wanna stay here, you can. If you wanna go deeper, you can take this left hand to the right ankle and just go slow and steady. If you feel wobbly, kick the ankle into the hand, and it'll give you a little more stability. Yeah.
That's good.
And just focus on your breath, 2 rounds. Take one more deep inhale, slow and steady. You'll release that bind. Keep the leg extended, but bring the left hand back down to the ground. And you're gonna extend this right leg out to the side. So notice if your weight shifted over to the left, and if it did, bring it back to center. Inhale, lift that right leg a little bit higher, and on your exhale, you're gonna crisscross behind you. Inhale, extend it back out, and we'll play with that for 3 more rounds. You should feel this in the outside of the left hip, and you'll also feel it on the right glute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I feel it.
And on your last round, you'll stay in that crisscross position. So your toes are in the ground, you're pressing into that right heel, gaze behind the left shoulder, and we'll just be here for 3 cleansing breaths. So you'll also feel this in the right side body, and just let the neck be loose. And if you guys would like to stay in this variation, you can hang here for a while. We're gonna go into a deeper hip opening, so your choice how deep you wanna go. So you can rest here, or you can start to bring that back knee down to the ground. Once you're there, you're gonna kick both feet out as wide as they can go. And again, this is another variation. You can just rest right here, or if you really wanna get into the hips, you'll slowly start to walk it back. If you can't make it all the way down to the ground, this is where your blocks come in handy. You can just like,
oh yeah, pop it underneath.
Yeah. Do you need a block?
I won't scoot forward.
Okay. So I know this one's a little bit intense, but that's okay. Your hips will thank you later. So your choice, if you want to heart opener, roll the shoulders up towards the ears, down the back, you can hang here for a few breaths. Or if you want to go deeper into the hips, you'll begin to walk it forward. Just let the head hang heavy. So these longer holding poses tend to bring up a lot of thoughts. And this is where we're just gonna focus on our breath, but also kind of giving yourself an intention to think on in these spaces. So if you are folded forward, or even if you're still sitting up tall, wherever you are, you can give a gesture to take your palms to the sky. And just think for a second, tap in with yourself and see if there's anything that's weighing heavy on your heart, holding you back, weighing you down, whatever it may be. And it's just all like swirling around in the palm of your hands right now. And now is your opportunity to just kind of offer it up, let it go. It no longer serves you. You can just have fun with it. Take a deep inhale. And whenever you're ready, we'll make our way back to seated, and you're just gonna slowly unwind because that was a little, hello, hips.
Felt amazing.
Hello.
I love that.
And you'll just slowly make your way back to your tabletop position, and we'll balance out the other side. So whenever you're ready, just check your wrists, make sure they're under the shoulders, extend that left leg back behind you, engage the glute and the core, and on an inhale, lift up. If you want to hang here, you can, or if you want to go deeper, maybe that right thumb comes to the sky. If you want to go even deeper, inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bring the elbow to the knee. And we'll just flow with that for 3 more rounds. You're so graceful.
Thank you.
And on your last round, you'll stay extended, plant that right hand into the ground. We're gonna bend that back knee one more time. You have your invisible platter that you're trying to balance, and you're just gonna pulse it.
That's a good visual, the platter.
Yeah, it's fun, because then you kind of have to engage the
Whatever food you want on
yeah,
the platter.
any food. I would like ice cream on there.
Ice cream, Reese cups.
So if you, all the things. If you want to go deeper, you can take this right hand to the left ankle, slow and steady. And again, if you feel wobbly, just kick into the ankle into the hand. 2 cleansing breaths. One more deep inhale, slowly let it go. Keep the back leg extended, plant that right hand to the ground, and that left leg is going to go out to the side. If you shifted your weight over to the right, just bring it back to center. Inhale, lift that left leg a little higher, and on your exhale, you're going to crisscross for 3 more rounds. Just flow with it. You can go as slow as you'd like. And on your last round, you'll land in that crisscross, pressing the toes into the ground, pressing into that left heel as you gaze behind the right shoulder. And you'll just rest here for 3 cleansing breaths. And again, if you want to stay here, you can hang here for as long as you'd like, or if you want to go deeper into the hips, you'll begin to drop that back knee down to the ground. Kick both feet out to the side. You can hang here if you'd like, or if you want to really get into the hips, just slowly walk it back. Yeah.
This might be my new favorite stretch.
And this is a space where you'll really notice, like, if one side is tighter than the other.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah. And if you want to try a different variation, maybe if you took your heart opener before, maybe take your hip opener, or not. Just stick with whatever feels good to you. And on this side, as all those thoughts come up for you, you can just, same kind of intention, but this time you're calling in everything that you deserve, everything that you want in life. Just imagine how it feels to already be in that space and how it feels to be living all those good things. Take one more deep inhale. When you are ready, you'll slowly bring it back up, slowly unwind, make your way back to your tabletop position. You need to shake it out.
I think I could stay in that pose all day. Yeah. It felt so good in my hips.
So good. Okay, this one's a little bit of a core engagement. So you're going to tuck the toes, engage the core. Your shoulders are still directly over the wrists. And on inhale, you're just going to lift your shins off the ground a couple inches. Exhale, bring it back down. And we'll play with that for 5 breaths. If you really just want some core engagement, you can stay floating, hovering above your mat. Or maybe you take it a little bit higher. This is all playtime, play space. And on your last round, you can take the hips all the way up to the sky. Maybe take a deep bend in one knee and the other, giving the hamstrings a little bit more love. And when you're ready, take a deep bend in that right knee and gaze under the left arm for 2 cleansing breaths. If we have any runners or anyone with tight hamstrings, like, this is a really great one for you. You can swap sides, take a deep bend in that left knee as you gaze under the right arm for 2 cleansing breaths. On your inhale, come back to center. So you'll come high onto the tippy toes, take a bend in the knees, gaze between your hands, your choice. You can take baby steps, you can hop, float, however you'd like to get to the top of your mat. Nice. On an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And you can take a deep bend in the knees, grab an elbow in each hand. You can let the head hang heavy. If you'd like to sway from side to side. We're just letting go of all that tension in the upper back neck area. This is also a little bit of a low back release. So if you want a different variation, more of a shoulder opener, heart opener, take a deeper bend in the knees, interlace the hands behind the back, and you're just going to let your hands fall overhead towards the mat for 3 cleansing breaths. Take one more deep inhale, you'll release that bind, and as if you're moving through honey, you're going to stack 1 vertebrae at a time and slowly make your way up to standing. If you've already made it to standing, you can roll the shoulders up towards the ears, down the back for 3 rounds. Let's get a little movement in the shoulders, a little shoulder love. On your next inhale, you can take your arms overhead, maybe a tiny back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift up. And on your exhale, you'll open out to the right side. So if it feels better to have your palms faced up to the sky, you'll feel that engagement in the shoulder blades. And I'll just be here for 2 cleansing breaths. One more deep inhale as you unwind back to center, and then you'll open out to the opposite side. 2 cleansing breaths. Deep inhale as you unwind back to center. You can dive down, palm the mat, take it back to a plank pose. So you'll hear me say high to low sometimes, and that just means you can bend at the elbows. Your elbows will graze your ribs as you come down to the mat. On an inhale, you'll roll the shoulders up towards the ears, down the back as you take a little lift. This is called up dog. And on your exhale, lower back down, tuck the toes, and you make your way back to down dog. If you ever want to skip that and just meet in down dog, that is totally up to you. So once you're here, take a deep cleansing breath. Inhale those right toes up to the sky. You can take a bend in that knee, give yourself some hip circles so your chest is still parallel to the mat, and you don't have to really open your hips way up to the sky. You're just getting a little mobility in there. On your inhale, extend the right toes back to the sky, and on your exhale, you'll take your knee to your nose for cheetah. Inhale, lift. Knee to right elbow for mountain climber. Inhale, lift. And then crisscross it over to the opposite elbow. Inhale, lift. And you're gonna bring it in between the hands. Just take a second here. You're gonna get the foundation set up. So anytime I say that, your feet kind of feel like they're ripping the mat apart, your quads are engaged, you can't really go anywhere, you're rock steady. So we'll begin to take a slight bend in the back knee. On an inhale, you're gonna drop that back knee as you lift your chin and chest to the sky, and on your exhale, round. So straighten the front leg as you round over. And we'll just flow with that for 3 more rounds. So get into the hips a little bit. And on your last round, you can come back into that bent knee, plant the left hand down, and on an inhale, you'll take the right hand up to the sky. 2 cleansing breaths. Deep inhale as you lower back down, and you'll just hop this back foot up just a couple of inches. This is an intense leg stretch. So if it feels better to come up to standing, get your hips facing forward, and then you're gonna melt over that front leg. If you wanna hang here for a while, we'll be here for about 10 breaths. So just let the head hang heavy. If you would prefer an IT band stretch, you're gonna heel toe this front foot to be in line with the back foot like you're on a tightrope. And then you can slowly begin to walk the hands over to the right side. So this is also where a block comes in handy if you would like to use this guy. Let the head hang heavy. So I know this one's a little intense. Just focus on the breath. And if you are off to the side, you can slowly start to make your way back to center. Keep your hands grounded. You're gonna take this back foot and crisscross it behind the front foot. Your pinky toes don't have to touch, they're just somewhere close by. They can just be friends. And if it helps to inhale, halfway lift, get that flat back, and then fold back over. And maybe take a deeper bend in this front knee. Let the head hang heavy. 2 cleansing breaths. You should feel this. I feel this in the outside of the back side of the left hip.
Yeah, me too. Glute, hamstring. Feels amazing.
Take one more deep inhale. Slow and steady, you will unwind the back foot to meet the front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. So you'll just plant your right hand a few inches in front of that right knee. Take a bend in that right knee. And on an inhale, take the left hand up to the sky. If you'd like your block, this always helps. Help you extend out a little bit. So I know that you see like 2 different blocks happening right here. This softer one still does the same job as this guy, but if you need a little more stability, you can have a cork block. It'll help you stay strong and steady. This one's more for if it's gonna go underneath of you.
Oh, like your back and
Yeah.
your tailbone? Okay.
But I'll walk you through that. Take one more deep inhale. You can come back to center, and then you'll just swap sides. Deep bend in the left knee, plant that left hand down or on top of your block. And on an inhale, you can take the right hand up to the sky. 2 cleansing breaths. One more deep inhale, and when you're ready, come on back down. If you have your block, you can set that off to the side. Inhale, halfway lift. And when you halfway lift, so you're almost like flat back, you'll hear other people say that. If it helps you to press your hands into your quads, and like you're pressing your quads away from you, but you're lengthening. Imagine a string at the top of your head, and you're just kind of like lengthening out for a flat back. And on your exhale, fold it back down. Inhale, rise to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. And on your exhale, swan dive down, palm the mat. Again, your choice if you want to take it to down dog or if you want to do your high to low. So, if you took it high to low, we'll meet back in down dog. Take a deep cleansing breath. And we're just gonna balance out the opposite side. So on an inhale, take the left toes up to the sky, take a bend in that knee, give yourself some circles. And you can go inward or outward with your circles, whichever way feels good to you. One more deep inhale as you straighten that leg back out, and on your exhale, knee to nose for cheetah. Inhale, lift. Knee to left elbow for mountain climber. Inhale, lift, and then crisscross it over to the opposite side. Inhale, lift, and when you're ready, bring it in between your hands, that high runner's lunge. Again, your quads are engaged, you're kind of ripping the mat apart. Take a slight bend in that back knee. On an inhale, you'll drop the knee as you lift the chin and chest. And on your exhale, straighten that front leg as you round over. So just flow with that for 3 more rounds, just waking things up. And when you're done with your last round, you're just gonna hop that back foot. Oh, just kidding. You're gonna rest back into the bent knee. Keep that right hand down on the ground. Inhale, left hand to the sky. 2 cleansing breaths. Deep inhale as you lower that left hand back down one more time. And now you'll hop that back foot up just a couple of inches for your intense leg stretch. If it helps to come to standing, get the hips facing forward and then melt back over. Let the head hang heavy. This is also another good place for blocks. I forgot to say this on the opposite side. But yeah, if you can't quite make it to the ground, no worries. Just let the head hang heavy. And if you want your IT band stretch on this side, you're just gonna heel toe that front foot to be in line with the back foot. And when you're ready, you can walk the hands over to the left side. Let the head hang heavy. 3 deep cleansing breaths. One more deep inhale as you unwind back to center. Take this back foot to crisscross behind the front foot. Pinky toes are somewhere close by. If you want to bend a little deeper into that front knee, head hangs heavy. This side is way tighter than the other.
Same. For me too.
Take one more deep inhale, and you can unwind the back foot to meet the front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to the sky. Maybe tiny back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. And on your exhale, you're just gonna swan dive down, palm the mat, take it back for high to low, or meet in down dog. If your block's in the way, just scoot it out of the way. On your inhale, take the right toes up to the sky, and when you're ready, bring it in between your hands. So warrior one, your back foot is at a 45-degree angle. Again, you're ripping the mat apart. Quads are engaged as you rise up. Maybe sink a little deeper into that front knee. So if you need more of your heart opener, you can, shoulder opener. These are cactus arms. I made that up. So you'll just take them a little bit further past your ears, open your heart to the sky. You can hang here for a few breaths. If you want to go even deeper, you'll begin to interlace the hands behind the back. On an inhale, lift the heart and chin to the sky, and on your exhale, you're just going to hover forward. You're not resting on top of that front leg, you're just hovering, just floating. And just focus on your breath, 2 cleansing breaths. Take one more deep inhale. If you do have your bind behind you, release that, and you're just gonna windmill open for warrior 2. Nice. And maybe sink a little deeper into that front knee. 3 cleansing breaths. So your front hand is reaching into the future, your back is in the past, but you are strong and steady in the present. One more deep inhale. This right hand will come overhead. So your choice, this back hand can come down the back side of the left leg, or it can rest right at the low back. Take one more deep inhale. This top arm, right forearm will slowly come down to the top of the right leg. Left hand can come overhead. You'll feel that side body stretch again one more time. If you need a break, you can be here for a few breaths. If you want to go even deeper, you'll start to bring this right hand to the inside of the right foot or your block if you'd like. If you want to go even deeper, maybe you take a bind here. And these are all things that you can play with. If you're like, what the heck? I can't bend that way. I used to not be able to do a lot of things. And then the more that I play with things,
You work through
you're
them.
like, wow.
Trust yourself a little bit.
Yeah. If you are bound, go ahead and unwind. And we're just gonna reverse this. We'll come onto the ball of the back foot, plant that left hand back down to the ground, and on an inhale, take the right hand back up to the sky. 2 cleansing breaths. One more deep inhale. And on your exhale, you'll lower back down. And then you'll just step that back foot back to meet, front foot to meet your back. You're back in down dog. Take a deep cleansing breath. And on your next inhale, take the left toes up to the sky. And when you're ready, you'll bring it in between your hands. Warrior 1 on this side. So back foot at your 45-degree angle. Your feet are ripping the mat apart, quads are engaged, and when you're ready, rise up. So if you want to stay in your warrior 1, just sink a little deeper into that front knee. If you'd like your cactus arms, just take them a little further past your ears. If you want to go deeper, interlace the hands behind the back as you lift your chin and chest to the sky. And on your exhale, you're just going to hover forward. 2 cleansing breaths. Take one more deep inhale. If you have that bind, release it as you windmill open for warrior 2. Nice. And again, anytime you guys want to take the palms to the sky, I just do that because it feels nice in the shoulders. It opens up the heart a bit more. On your next inhale, you'll start to take the left hand overhead for peaceful. So your choice if you want that right hand down the back side of the right leg, or if you want it to rest at the low back. Take one more deep inhale, and slow and steady bring this left forearm to the top of the left leg. That right hand can come overhead. You can stay here for your side body stretch, or if you want to go a little bit deeper, take that left hand to the inside of the left foot or your block, or you can take a bind here and just focus on your breath. You're so strong. And when you're ready, if you have your bind, go ahead and let that go, and we'll just reverse this. So come onto the ball of the back foot, plant that right hand down, and on an inhale, take the left hand up to the sky. 2 cleansing breaths. And when you're ready, lower back down. You can hop this back foot up to meet the front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. You can shake it out. So we're just going to play with a little bit of balance, a little bit of strength building. So we'll start with imagining you have roots coming from your left foot, grounding you down. If it helps to lift the toes up, plant them back down. You're gonna have a slight bend in that knee, but you're still engaging the glute. And then on an inhale, you'll pull that right knee in towards your chest. You may be wobbly, that's okay. Just focus on the breath. I'm just gonna turn this way so you guys can see. Maybe this way. So just for the mirrored effect. So if you guys wanna open out to the side, just counterbalance with the opposite arm. If you wanna go even deeper, just take your peace sign fingers around that right big toe, and maybe you can extend out. This is also, if you're at home, this is an opportunity to balance on a wall if you want to press your left hand into the wall. But just focus on the breath, and whenever you're ready, you can come on back down, shake it out. And then we'll balance out the opposite side. So plant your roots on the right foot. Inhale that left knee into your chest. If you want to hang here, you can. Or if you want to open out to the side, just counterbalance with the right hand. Want to go deeper, take the peace sign fingers to the left big toe, extend it out, and just focus on the breath. Wobbles are good. You're just building strength in the ankle and the calves. One more deep inhale. When you're ready, come on back down. Woohoo! So just move into eagle. This time bring both feet together. You're a strong tree trunk. Your arms are out into a T. So this time your right arm will go on top for your hug. You'll tuck your chin to your chest for a cleansing breath. So your choice. If you want to stay in your hug, you can. If you want to go a little bit deeper, maybe you bring your back sides of your hands together, or maybe you can wrap around to where palms can touch. If you are here, inhale, elbows up, hands away. And if you want to incorporate legs, you're going to begin to squat down a bit, like you're in your chair. So first test and see how your balance is. You're going to lift the right heel off the ground. The toes are still planted into the ground. If that feels safe and steady, on an inhale, lift the right knee up and over. Maybe you can wrap it around, and you're just going to squat down a little bit deeper and just focus on the breath. One more deep inhale. And when you're ready, you can slowly unwind, shake it out. Yay! And now we'll just balance out the opposite side. So bring your tree trunk legs back together. Inhale, left arm is on top this time for your hug. Chin to your chest for a cleansing breath. If you want to stay in your hug, you can. If you want to go a little deeper, you can bring back sides of your hands together. Maybe palms come around to touch. Inhale, elbows up, hands away. And if you want to incorporate legs, just begin to squat down and just test that balance on the left side. So toes are still planted, left heel comes off the ground. If that feels good, squat down a little deeper. Inhale, lift up and over. If you still feel wobbly, you guys can take it as low as you want to. One more deep cleansing breath. And when you're ready, you can slowly unwind, shake it out. So
good.
One more balancy
Okay.
thing. I made this one up also, so I call it butterfly pose. It's really fun, and it's building like ankle and all of the calf muscles. So you'll come, your hands are by your side, and on an inhale, you'll come onto your tippy toes as you lift the hands overhead. You may be wobbly, that's okay, and exhale, just float it back down. So we'll play with that for 4 more rounds. Inhale, lifting. If you don't feel wobbly, maybe do what Sydney's doing and take your gaze up to the sky, or you can even close your eyes. This is always a fun one to play with. One more round, and on your last round, you'll stay high onto the tippy toes, and this time you're slowly going to come into a chair pose. Imagine you are on the slowest elevator you've ever been on. You're going to come all the way down to the ground. Yay! Until you come all the way to seated. So once you get to seated with your legs extended, you may not feel like you're sitting up very tall. Just plant your hands, lift yourself up, scoot yourself back a couple inches if you need it. On an inhale, take your arms overhead. So engaging the core, you're gonna round into the back. We're not coming all the way down, just give a little inhale, bring it back up. And exhale, you're just gonna hinge it forward. So we'll play with that for 2 more rounds. Maybe you go just a little bit further each time, maybe not, that's okay. Whatever you want to do. And on your last round, you'll come back to seated. So plant the feet back into the ground. This one's another hip opener for us. You'll take this left ankle, cross it over the right knee. If you guys ever need it to be a deeper opening, you can just scoot yourself closer to your right heel. I'll show you some other variations on this too, but if you just want to open your heart up to the sky, take a little back bend. This is a good one you can do at work anytime you want. Like if you were sitting on your chair, you could just cross the ankle over, and then instead you're just going to fold forward so that you can
do that at work too.
Yeah.
In the car.
Yes, everywhere. And when you're ready, you can lower this bottom leg to the ground. This top leg's gonna rest on top. If you want your heart opener, you can take that. Take one more deep inhale. This top leg is gonna begin to extend out. You have a little figure 4 shape happening, and you'll just take this right hand to the left knee, left hand back behind you for a little twist. 2 cleansing breaths. One more deep inhale. You can bring your belly button in line with your toes, left toes. Inhale, lift up, and on your exhale, fold it forward. Let the head hang heavy. One more deep inhale, and when you're ready, come back up to seated. We'll come back to center, balance out the opposite side one more time. Plant both feet into the ground. Take the left ankle over that right knee, and your choice how deep you want it. You can either scoot yourself a little bit closer to that heel. Take a few cleansing breaths. Also, if it feels good to flex the sole of the left foot, imagine it's pressing into an invisible wall. Take one more deep inhale. You'll begin to lower this bottom leg down to the ground. Top leg stacks on top. Also, it's okay if you have the space here, no worries. You can also stick a block in there if you need, but that's not important. Anyway, if you want your heart opener. And when you're ready, I think I did the opposite thing. Anyway, your top leg will extend out for your figure 4 shape. You can take this left hand to the top of that knee, right hand behind you. 2 cleansing breaths. One more deep inhale as you unwind back to have your belly button in line with the right toes. Inhale, lift up, and on your exhale, fold it forward. Also, it doesn't matter if you touch your toes. You can rest the hands by your calf. If you're going past your toes, you can always take a block and put it at the end, but none of that's important. You can also use your strap or towel or shirt to kind of bring your foot a little bit closer to you. But as long as you're feeling the stretch in the backside of that leg, that's really all that's important. On your next inhale, you'll come back up to seated. We're just gonna make our way down to our backs where we started. You can lower down. So if it feels good to windshield wiper your knees, dropping them to one side and the other. And whenever you're ready, we'll begin to move into an inversion of your choice. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. There's Happy Baby, where you can take your feet to the sky, reaching for the outside blades of your feet, and you're just kind of letting gravity take your knees down to the ground. There is supported shoulder stand, where your hands are supporting your low back. There's also, so your blocks come in handy. This is where the softer ones are a little better. You can take it right at your low back and just take your feet up to the sky. Just hang here. If you have a bolster, if you're like, what the heck is a bolster? It's this fun pillow guy. So anytime you have low back or hip things going on, this guy is nice. You can just rest over it, take your feet to the sky. And whenever you're ready, you can begin to make your way down to Savasana, final resting pose. If that's new to you, there are many options. So you can lengthen yourself out, like spread out like a starfish with your palms up to the sky. If you have low back things going on, you can plant your feet into the ground, let your knees come back to touch, or you can take a pillow or a bolster, put it under your knees, and then just rest back down. How's your body feeling?
Really good.
You need any props?
Very relaxed.
There's also, if you guys have a shirt or anything at home that like you want to just cover your eyes with, so Shavasana is like a really good, all those movements that you just put your body through, it's always good to rest, even if it's just for 1 minute. But we have some lavender eye pillows here today. There's also, if anybody has a little bit of stress or anxiety, there are these cool like weighted blankets. You've probably seen them for other things. Are you okay with this guy? Yeah. Okay. So it just kind of fully calms you, and you can just really like rest down and just yay. I'm just gonna give you all the props. There's also sandbags that kind of similar to if you ever rest your forehead on the mat, it helps balance out your system. This is the same, but upside down. So it's okay, you're good. Oh. I just bring a block to the top of her head, and you can rest a sandbag half on the block, half on the forehead, and now she's like completely blissed out.
Wow.
Yeah. If you guys need help sleeping, like this is
right.
A wonderful situation. And you guys can stay there as long as you'd like. I'll untrap you from all of these props. And whenever you're ready, you can start to bring some movement back to your fingers and your toes. You can reach your arms overhead, give yourself a full body stretch. You can bring your knees into center. Give yourself one last hug. And if you want to rest over onto your left side, your heart side, just for a couple of breaths before making your way to a comfortable seat. And when you're ready, come on up.
That was amazing. I think I could have those weighted blankets all the time.
Yeah, they're so great.
Yeah, and I'll link everything that she used in the description.
Oh, yeah.
So if you guys are interested in blocks or in any of the things that she mentioned at the end, I'll definitely give you an Amazon link to them, or if you have some good links to send to me, I'll put where you get yours.
Send you all the things.
Yeah. So I hope you feel so much better. I hope this flow is something that you can continue to use. Opening up the hips and the back is something that we all need to work on with just lifestyle in general. The way that we're working out, this is also just a really good break mentally, physically. It's not so demanding, but more so of a relaxation. And just giving your body that recovery that it needs is such a big part of anyone's journey. So thank you so much for this flow.
And thank you guys.
Yeah, you guys will see her again on the channel in a couple weeks. But thank you so much.
Thank you. Yay!
See you guys.